So hello, welcome to SteveKnows. Today I want to talk about something that doesn't seem to be mentioned in so many of the Quest 3 videos popping up. And this needs to be shared, like graphical improvements on games by default, full body tracking on Quest 3 coming in December, and augments in mixed reality, and a little touch on Carmack. Not being received as well as he usually is in the community. But more on that at the end of this video, so please check out my Quest 3 hands-on video and my everything you need to know, which is just packed full of Quest 3 facts. But for now, it's the weekend, it's VR news time, enough chin-wagging, let's get started. So we're going to start off with more accurate leg tracking coming and body tracking on Quest 3, a feature that's also going to be on the Quest 2 and the Quest Pro, which is the leg tracking via predictive modeling. But the Quest 3 is going to be able to do more than that. So these headsets are due to get an update in December, ready for the holiday season where everyone's going to be purchasing a new device. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people will get one for the holiday season. And the way that this is going to work on the Quest 3, it's not going to work on the Quest 2 or the Pro, is that it's going to use the cameras that are positioned at the side and very low on the Quest 3 headset to track your body parts. It's going to track your wrists, your elbows, your shoulder positions, and your torso, which makes sense now why they are placed where they are. On the Quest 2, they're at the front. On the Quest 3, they're down here on the side, but you kind of grasp the shoulders, the elbows, and the hands there, well, the wrists. So we are now one step closer to what they're calling inside-out body tracking. Pretty freaking cool. A long time ago, the Zuck did spoke about how floating wrists are actually more immersive than your entire arm, because if VR does not match the movement of your elbows, your shoulders, your arms, your wrist, it throws the user off. This is called inverse kinematics. So this new update looks to solve that problem that he was talking about and provide additional support with leg tracking. And I'll touch on that in a sec. So this will be an SDK update for developers to integrate into their applications. So it will require an application update to work. It's not something that's just going to happen out of the box. Something else that this is going to make possible, which is a huge win. This is something Deca Gear, if you remember them, tried to solve with their external module that you would put on your waist. So it will be able to track the user's position based on the body's direction instead of your hands and your head. So you can perhaps select torso now for tracking instead of your hand and head. But I'm not sure on the specifics of that just yet. But Upload VR gave a great example, as you'll be able to do things like lean around corners and lean over edges of buildings with this headset without this headset thinking that you're walking in 60OF. This is also going to make a great difference in shooters, I think, because you are very often using your hand and head in very erratic ways that are not always aligned to where you want to move. The video that they show here looks pretty freaking awesome as well. Although the legs do have a slight delay, from the user's perspective, they're obviously not going to know that there is a delay because they're not looking at you at the same time as the output of the visuals. But what I found really cool here is the elbows not twitching out that you so often see with full body avatars when they get in this weird twisted position back here. You see that all the time. At the dodgeball video as well, it now resembles something that looks more realistic. It's still not great, but it definitely looks like an improvement and more lifelike. So hopefully it's going to be more immersive, because VR has such power to create presence. So if we can improve that and make it more immersive and more social, that's a win. Hopefully they improve on the graphics so we no longer have dead eyes, but at least the body's alive! So now the leg tracking, or the leg predictions I should say, will be more accurate with the Quest 3 thanks to the understanding of the positioning of the top half of your body. As for Quest 2 and the Quest Pro, you're going to have two variables to determine position, which is the hands and the head. So although it's not perfect, we are using AI modeling to determine where the legs are going to be, we do have some remnants of full body tracking, even if the legs are not implemented. This could be solved in a future update for the Quest 3, like we saw with the hand tracking when that first released. From then to today, it's a completely different beast, and hopefully this is going to be just that as well. Maybe they could even add a VR accessory for your feet, because that's just 2 items, 2 trackers over what, 8, 6? Big difference. Meta announced that full body synthesis, which is what they're calling it, will come to Supernatural, Swordsman VR, Drunken Bar Fight, and the SDK will also be available for developers in December. So a question that I keep getting in a couple of my Quest 3 videos is around the back catalogue of games that you already own. Will they be affected by the Quest 3? And the answer looks to be yes, as the developers can update these games to utilise the better hardware, But also, it's just been reported on the Quest 3, it will boost resolution automatically, so developers won't have to do anything on that front. Seeing an automated upgrade process makes me tingle. What a beautiful thing to happen, thanks to the engines that they're using. So in Unity and Unreal, apparently developers set a multiplayer based on the default resolution. So this is something that you would set as like a 1x or a 1.2x, and it will multiply the default resolution to be the output of your application on the headset. Or there is another alternative where you select dynamic resolution, which is where Meta will change the output based on the GPU intensity. So if things are really intense, it will drop the resolution. If you've got the overhead, it will boost it. So the Quest 2's default value is set to 1440 by 1584 per eye. The Quest 3's default is now increased by 30%, so 1680 by 1760. So with no update to the games, they should look sharper and clearer from day one, thanks to this method of using a multiplier instead of a specific resolution output. And just to be clear, these are default resolutions in the engine. We know the displays are capable of much more, but some games are so intense that they actually do need to drop it slightly, so you're never going to see the max as the default, just so things remain stable and reliable. Something that was shown at Connect that got me so dang excited, it wasn't something that was shown during the early demo of the headset. This is a feature called Augments that should be coming next year. So augments are like interactive, spatially aware digital assets. So based on the video and the reveal, they look to be things like decor for your room that you can enjoy in mixed reality, widgets so you can have applications up on the wall like a music player, even portals for games to make your space your own, really taking advantage of that depth sensor in the Quest 3 and its improved color native pass-through. I think this is a great way to get people to play games, to add replayability to existing titles, if unlocks of augments were the reward. So these items are more tangible, although they are digital. I find they're a bit more interesting than a few gamer points that you see on consoles. Can you imagine completing Assassin's Creed VR and you get this lovely floating statue of Ezio doing a leap of faith? That would be fantastic. So although it's rest in peace to the Rift Home, this looks like a potential step up and an even more customizable space that's blurring the lines between real and what's not. This is the stuff of dreams when I was a child, my gosh. Finally though, I do want to highlight on some words from Carmack, the classic CTO from back in the day, the VR frontman, the gentleman that we miss. So he went on about this new device, the Quest 3, voicing some of his opinions on having mixed reality in VR headsets and how that isn't actually going to be a system selling feature. And it started this back and forth between so many folks in the community that did not agree with him. It's a really interesting thread. Carmack's normally on point. I see that he has some valid things to say, as he always does. He's a very smart man, but the community are also making great points. So if you're aware of Carmack, I will link this thread down below so you can go check it out. It's pretty darn interesting. So yeah, check it out below and give it a read. There's quite a bit there. So that is it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Please let me know if you're excited for these new features. Comment your thoughts down below. I'll try and respond to as many as I possibly can. Enjoy my hands-on review of the Quest 3, and I have another video which is just full packed of facts that hopefully answers a lot of your questions. So please subscribe. I've been doing this since the dawn of the Quest. It would be amazing if I could hit that milestone that many want to hit and receive that plaque. It would be a dream come true. But most of all, have a great week and happy gaming. Good day!